Still ahead here at 5. It's never an easy subject, the loss of a loved one. This week, our medical expert, Dr. Bose, helps us prepare for this tough situation by walking us through the stages of grief.
Your family's health is brought to you by First Med of Midland.
This topic is hard, but it's a fact of life, death.
It is. It's something every single one of us deals with at some point in life, a death of a loved one, and unfortunately ourselves at some point.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk to you today about a psychiatrist. Her name was Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and some of her research in the 1960s. Now, you may not have heard her name, but you've probably heard about some of her research.
Yes.
What she did is she worked with many, many terminally ill patients, patients who are dying from cancer, other conditions. And what she found were 5 stages that people go through when they experience a loss, okay? And this is any loss. This is if you find out you're diagnosed with cancer or some disease that's terminal, or you have the death of a loved one. Even veterans experience this when they lose a limb, and even losing a pet, you can feel these things. Yeah. So it's universal, it's all cultures, all races, all ethnicities.
There is no definition for what loss is or isn't.
Right, and it's not that a certain group feels one thing, these are universal. So stage 1 is denial. Now, when you find out you have a terminal illness, you deny to buffer against that immediate shock. This doctor cannot be correct. That diagnosis is wrong. I know my doctor is wrong. These lab results must be in error. And that's kind of a defense mechanism.
It's like nature's way of giving you only as much as you can handle.
Correct, correct. But then you kind of come to terms with this being correct and a correct diagnosis and feeling surface to the top. And the next stage, stage 2, is anger. And anger it's a necessary stage of the healing process. If you have a loved one who got diagnosed, or you lost a loved one, you're going to have a phase where you're angry. And that helps us manage the pain. Mm-hmm. And then you go to number 3, and that's bargaining.
You know, if you will let this person live, God, I'll never do this again.
Right, and it's, I think guilt is bargaining's companion. I like to call this the what-if stage appointment. What if I had done this? Please, I'll never fight with my wife again if you cure her of this disease and let her live.
That's part of it.
You bargain with God, you bargain with your doctor, you bargain with your loved ones, and that's stage 3. And then finally, there's stage 4, which is depression. And you get very, very sad.
It couldn't be like mental illness.
It's not mental illness, because this is normal.
It disguises itself.
Right, so there's depression that's pathologic, and then there's normal grieving process. So this is a normal grieving process.
It would be weird if you didn't feel that way.
Right, it would be, and it's not a sign. It's not a sign of mental illness at all. And matter of fact, a lot of these stages go in different orders. Some people feel the depression first, and then they feel the anger. So it can, you know, switch around.
Right.
And the last stage, stage number 5, is acceptance. So you accept it, you come to peace, you're calm.
It may never be okay,
right,
but you just know that this is life now.
Correct. It's not that you're okay with it and this is great now, but you may not be okay with ever losing a loved one, but you accept it's the new norm and this is your new life and you have to go forward. And there's no time limit on the grief. Many people get through it quickly, some don't. There's no right way to grieve. But if you see these stages, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, you can help a loved one who's going through this, or understand if you're going through this after a loss and what you're feeling may be normal.
And you can reach out to somebody.
Right, and if you need help, you can go to a counselor, you can go to your physician, or to your family or friends.
All right, Dr. Bose, thanks.
Thank you.